Hi, in this episode of What the Flash Fridays, you might be wondering what I'm doing with an aquarium sitting on my desk. Sometimes you have to think inside the box rather than outside the box. We just did a recent shoot down at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas during WPPI. We had a shootout, we had some models. We were around water, of course, so hence the aquarium. I had this vision that I wanted to do a shot of the model with the water line half in, half out, and shooting from the perspective, the point of view of in the pool. I didn't have watertight housing, right, for my 1D Mark IV, or I'm sorry, my EOS 1DX. So I got a $10 aquarium from the pet store. This works great. Now I don't advise you to do this unless you're comfortable and your equipment is insured and you take all the necessary precautions, like first putting the aquarium into the water, making sure it is watertight. So the goal was to get an image kind of underwater, or like I said, the water line half in, half out with the model, using of course strobe, speed lights, and then putting the aquarium in the pool. So what I did is I took my 1DX, which is a full frame sensor, 16 to 35, because the water does magnify the lens. And I used live view because when we're on the back, we can actually see what's going on. And then once you submerge the camera in, you get an idea. You could actually see on the live view what you're framing and what your subject is, and then you can compose and shoot away. Now this is going to float, it's going to bobble, so you kind of use your arms to guide it and to give it ballast and to push it into the water to achieve the effect you're looking for. Remember, you don't want to go over the water line. There is no top to this. Put a towel in here in case there's any splashes or waves, but it's a cool creative technique, right? Always be thinking, always be doing something outside the box, but this time inside the box. So join me and I'll show you what those images look like. Motivated outside the box. As I was sharing with you, I used a $10 aquarium from the local PetSmart down in Las Vegas when we were doing this shootout at the MGM Grand Hotel, at the MGM Grand during WPPI. And what I wanted to do is create that half in the water, half out of the water view. So in order to do that, I had to get my camera below the water line. So what I did is I had two speed lights off camera, left and right, with a blue gel just skimming into the water to kind of create some more blue and depth in the pool. And then I used a third Canon 600EX RT speed light in the new Westcott Octabank, not Octabank, but Octabox, Rapid Box, but in the configuration like a beauty dish. It has this beauty dish reflector plate in there, which you can use diffused or non-diffused. For this particular shot, I had the diffusion sheet over it. So let's take a look at my settings here. I was using the Canon EOS 1DX with a 16 to 35mm lens, and I was using live view so I can see the view on the back of the camera, half in, half out. And yes, I was kind of shouting and being a little bit rude. Hey, clear the background, get out of the background, because I'm thinking about Dawn, because Dawn is going to take this image and really make it sing. Now this is straight out of camera, did the best I could, but people were just like watching me in the pool with my camera in this aquarium, like thinking, are you crazy? So got the shot, and our settings were ISO 1250, aperture f5 so I could get some depth of field, 1250 ISO so the speed lights can shoot at an aperture of f5 and shoot quickly, because believe me, I was chilled. Even though we were in Vegas, the water was warm, but the air was quite cold. So at 17mm at f5, I have quite a bit of depth of field. I chose a 1/30th of a second shutter speed to pull in some of the ambient in the background, because we didn't want to have a pitch black background. So let's take a look at the lighting diagram. So we'll click over here to the next frame, and you can see here's my speed lights left and right side of the pool. They're both in the same group. So I kind of shot those lights in manual mode. They were roughly at just about a third of a stop above a quarter power with the blue gel on them to give us more accentuated bluish tint in the water. And then Dawn really picked up on that tint and painted it in a little bit more, so we had that nice color intensity. Here's the Rapid Box by Westcott, and we were using a Calumet boom, which I trucked all the way down to Las Vegas from Chicago on a 10-foot light stand to get that light as close to the model as possible over the water. Remember, when you're dealing with small speed lights, that the light needs to be as close to your subject as possible so it doesn't have to work as hard. So a friend of ours, David Bruneau, was over from France, and he managed to make a few frames of me in the water creating the shot. So he's using his off-camera flash over here, but you can actually see what I'm trying to do is I'm looking at the live view on the back of the camera through the aquarium, trying to frame up my shot, time it, and shoot. So let's take a look at what the finished image looks like. Now you can see Dawn did a tremendous amount of work to really clean this up, really make the image sing. She brought some more color into the water. She cleaned up a lot of distracting elements, removed all the distracting people that were in the background, and even enhanced some of the landscape lights. So let's pull the two images up side by side so that we could see them. So you can actually see the before and the after. So there you go. Here there's a drain in the pool over here, a water inlet, some distracting bubbles, her foot just kind of draping down there so she could keep balance, a skimmer basket, person in the background, this ladder. All of those distracting elements were removed post-production. And here's the final image. So Dawn and I really work well together, and I do the best I can to get the capture in camera, and then she takes the image and completes our vision to give us this single beautiful image. And there you go, thinking inside the box. Here's another view of me with the Canon EOS 1DX, the STE3 speedlight transmitter, which is wirelessly over a radio frequency communicating with the other three speedlights. This is the Rapid Box by Westcott. It's a new light modifier that when this deflector plate is in place, it acts like a beauty dish. Beautiful quality of light. Super easy to travel with. It's portable. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's one of my new favorite toys to play with. Right light modifier for the right job, for the right look. Here's the EOS 1DX. And here's the speed lights I was using. So 3 Canon 600EX RTs, and then the STE3 in groups in camera. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks again, and stay tuned for other episodes and lessons of What the Flash Friday.